In this video, I'll be going through the 6 rules of working with Amazon vendor managers. Make sure to stay to the very end because the 6th rule is the most important and it will either make or break your entire Amazon vendor business. If you are new here, my name is Benjamin Bolshinsky. I used to work at Amazon in the vendor management team for almost 3 years, and now I run a company called Vendor Launch, where we work with Amazon vendors to increase their purchase orders. And so, without further ado, rule number 1 is you have to be transactional. You see, Amazon works very differently compared to your more traditional brick and mortar retailers, right? Amazon is very, very different. It is more transactional. Everything is based on data and numbers, and that's it. Your vendor manager does not care about your business, the effort you're putting in to maintain the Amazon account, or they don't even care about building a relationship with you. This is the harsh truth. And I had first-hand experience of the conversations as a vendor manager. They don't care. Your vendor account is just a set of ASIN numbers and a means of reaching their own internal KPIs, which are profit and sales. I don't care if you're Apple or if you're a mum and dad small store that's just launched their first product. Any company, any vendor comes down to a set of ASIN numbers. Therefore, every ask you make of Amazon, of your Amazon VM, your vendor manager, should have numbers and data backing it. Otherwise, it is a waste of time. Rule number 2. Never give Amazon something for free. Amazon never gives you anything for free, so why should you? Right? Just to have an open Amazon vendor account, you need to agree to trading terms, which are probably 15%, right? There is no such thing as a free lunch in Amazon, right? Everything that they launch, that they offer, they will want something in return, and that is the exact same process and methodology that you should have as well. Never give Amazon something for free. Moreover, this is what separates a lot of the highly successful vendor accounts that we work with from those that don't. If Amazon asks you for something, then you should see it as an opportunity to improve your bottom line or to get something back in return. For example, if Amazon asks you to update packaging so that they can ship it in its own packaging, you ask through a CPI, right? Any updates in packaging require more costs, and you should try and push that through to Amazon, right? If Amazon asks you something, then make sure to get something back in return. It's an opportunity. Another example, your vendor manager might be emailing you about low confirmation rates. In other words, they're sending you, X POs per week, but you're only fulfilling and supplying, say, 50%, right? They want that extra 50%. That's your opportunity, right? If Amazon asks you for that, you respond with, well, how about those CPIs that we tried to put through, right? How about that cost price increase? Until we put through that cost price increase, we can't prioritize Amazon. You have to make sure to leverage. If Amazon asks you something, most vendors you see when Amazon asks them something, they're like, oh, another email. You should see it as the best thing ever because it's an opportunity to get something back in return. Rule number 3, only ask for things you can't do yourself. Now, here I'll give vendor managers some credit or leeway here. You see, they are often tasked with working with many vendor accounts, 20, 30, 40, depending on the team, right? And they are often bombarded, inundated with questions, right? Many of these questions, to be honest, vendors can just solve themselves through the tools that are available in Vendor Central. Many Amazon tools are entirely self-service. This should be your first priority before you ask your vendor manager. If you will ask your vendor manager for things that you can do in Vendor Central, it will break trust, they will ignore you, and you will just piss them off, right? Like, for example, Amazon's not raising POs for any product of yours. This is something that you can entirely fix yourself in Vendor Central. This is something that we fix for all of our clients. getting Amazon to raise POs is not an issue that requires Amazon Vendor Manager intervention. You can do this all yourself through Vendor Central, right? You should only save things that you cannot do through Vendor Central. You should only save those things for your Vendor Manager. For example, cost price increases, pricing errors, trading term reviews, things like that. You should ask your Vendor Manager for. Setting up promotions, you can do that yourself. Creating products, you can do that yourself. Getting Amazon to raise purchase orders, you can do that for yourself. We do that for all of our clients. It's very easy. It's just about resources. Creating variations, we do that for all of our clients. You can do that yourself. So make sure you save the things for your Vendor Manager that you cannot do yourself. Rule number 4. This is an interesting one. Use Amazon terminology, right? It helps build trust with your Vendor Manager. It means it comes across as someone that has done their research. It builds credibility. They look at you as a serious vendor, not someone who's just been pawned off the Amazon account that doesn't know anything, right? Use Amazon terminology. For example, don't say profit, say net PPM. Don't say sales, say PCOGs. Not product or SKU, it's ASIN. List invoice price? No. Amazon uses the term cost price. It's their cost price. Not a product page, it's a detail page. The list goes on, right? We have an entire acronym dictionary at Vendor Launch that we use when we onboard new employees, new clients, and we go through the correct terminology that Amazon uses, right? In fact, when I worked at Amazon, they have their own Amazon acronym Wikipedia that has a list of all acronyms across the entire company. There are thousands. So make sure that you begin to learn and use their own terminology. If you don't know what something means, book a call with us. We'll explain. But it will help build credibility with your vendor manager. Step number 5. Get everything in writing. The number of times that vendors rely on goodwill or word of mouth with your vendor manager is too often, and it is not a good idea. The reason why you want to get everything in writing is because vendor managers churn, on average, I would say, every 1.5 to 2 years, sometimes less. 2 years is pretty much the maximum because at that point, either they want to get promoted. If they're not getting promoted, they'll probably move elsewhere. They'll move teams, they'll move companies. I would say like at the 2-year mark, they're probably on the way out. And so that's why it's really important that you have everything in writing, especially things that are multi-year commitments, agreements, funding, that kind of stuff. Everything should be in writing because if it's not, these things just get lost over, emails. They get lost over calls. Like if it's not in writing, it didn't happen. That pretty straightforward. Just make sure you have any commitment in writing. If it's not in writing, assume that they did not agree to it. Now, the last and most important rule on Amazon when it comes to your vendor manager: never ever pay for something without supporting data. Amazon will pitch you many things, many programs, many features, many tools, many opportunities, marketing opportunities. They will pitch you these for a fee. Every single time, you should ask for concrete data which supports that thing that they are pitching, right? If there is no data, then you should assume that that thing that they are pitching you is useless, because it is. For example, category page banners. Amazon will pitch you category page banners. They will charge you either $10,000, $20,000 for that. An opportunity to have your product on their, kitchen or their grocery page banner. They will never share the data of that banner. In other words, the click-through rates, the sales that your products are generated. The reason they will not share those things is because they don't do anything. They don't drive much sales at all. Therefore, if Amazon pitches you something, you should ask for concrete data supporting that thing. If they do not disclose that, right, then it doesn't work. Plain and simple. Now take, for example, the other end of this kind of spectrum. Advertising, right? Advertising works. We have many case studies supporting that. The thing with advertising is you can see exactly where it's working. You can see how many people have clicked on the ads, how many sales have come through it, how many views, impressions. You can see all of that, right? Transparency is important here. If Amazon are not being transparent behind the incremental sales that a particular program or service will generate, it's because there are no incremental sales. Hopefully that helps. If you want to book a call with myself or my team, please do so, and we can take you through a bespoke, a tailored plan for your Amazon vendor account. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I'll respond to them personally for free. But otherwise, hope you have a great day and we'll talk soon. Bye.